So before we saw that fight, I wanted to mention how there's not only going to be the teams that want to play safe, that want to play placement, and we actually saw some aggression from Slavgen guys. We see the mechs coming into play. That's a perfect opportunity to farm up the mats. You don't have to waste 3 minutes just swinging your pickaxe. You can get into a mech. Just get eliminations on people.
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not talking about farming up with the mech because that's not an option anymore, but I'm talking about getting easy eliminations with the enemies not really being able to respond, and you farm mats by just getting rid of other players.
And I think that what's happening right now is what we talk about, people getting aggressive so they will assert their dominance in the game. And we can see the guys from Slavgen, they just going after everybody. Like they just don't stop. Like they eliminated all the guys by the Spencer's factories. Right now they just got in the mech and they see somebody on the shifty shafts. What do? They just engage straight away.
Yep, and that is very well played by them, and they knew that they were in a little bit trouble after they got hit by that trap. They didn't have a lot of shields, they needed to also finish somebody off to find these, and they got some big shields, some full pots from these guys that they just eliminated right here, so they're gonna get back up to like 150, 175 HP, as we did see that they weren't maxed out on the white health.
I just want to point out there's 4 mechs going this way on the minimap. That's gonna be like
just gonna be a whole load of mechs in this game, and there's nothing that we can do about it. In this tournament, it's gonna be a mech game, and what is also an interesting thing, like normally in an arena situation, you can, like, a lot of teams are, if there is a mech, it's gonna be 1 or 2. A lot of teams can just focus on it and eliminate it quickly. Right here, when there's like 8 mechs, nobody in the world has enough ammo to spam all of them down.
Yeah,
there is no way, so there is always gonna be a mech out there.
Yeah, and I believe with the amount of mechs right now, is nobody would even take a chance to start shooting at one. Because when somebody sees that, like, you're shooting at the mech and the mech responds to you, the other mech will engage as well, so you're basically done for. So I think most of the teams will try to hide, not make a move, just sit quietly as they can and avoid any engagement from the mechs.
That's what we see from these guys. They were shot at from the polar peak. They did hear that there was a fight right next to them on the chair. They didn't do anything. Right now they're also like sitting on the low ground, trying to use as little builds as possible and just survive. They are a very quiet duo that we have our POV on.
Richard again.
Actually, we'll just mention to you, the viewers, maybe it will be useful. We have 4 possible POVs,
yes.
So we're going to be able to spectate 4 different duos throughout this entire tournament at a given time. And obviously, if someone gets eliminated, it transfers over to the other guys.
Yeah, so we are not going to be afraid to be kicked out of the game or anything happens. So let's say, Richard, they've already used 2 of the junk rifts. I mean, that's very ballsy of them. Because I would assume to keep, like, they will save them till the end of the game, because they've got loads of utility. They've got a junk rift, they've got impulses, they've got loads of mini. I don't know what Motas have, but I believe he's got some extra impulses as well. I would assume they would just play it safe. But I think they just, as well, want to get these early eliminations, see how the player responds to their aggression, and then try to work from this point.
I feel like there is one thing that we have not touched on yet, but for now, let's just focus on this fight. Momindu and Kevin are once again in a fight. This Slavgen guys, the action never stops for them.
Exactly.
But they do win this one, and Kevin still with some pretty good health right there on himself.
Yeah, there was a close fight, like Momindu got knocked out, but Kevin was just, don't worry mate, I've got this.
Yeah.
And show the other guys. And so they just don't stop. They just don't stop fighting. They just keep fighting all the time.
Yeah, but this time I don't think that they were the ones to force the fight. Like, they had the high ground. They weren't trying to go down. It was the guys from below that were trying to, like, bump into them. But yeah, what I wanted to touch on, the shockwave grenades. Like, normally in a regular playlist where you don't have a healing, it's not arena, you don't have moving zones, so nothing forces you to just move around and try and survive from the storm. Normally we would have a heal off going on at the end, so meds, campfires, bandages, slurps, chug splashes, anything that can keep you alive. That's why we said that these junk rifts are going to be extremely effective. But also shockwave grenades. When you're on low ground, you don't have to really care about it because you know that high ground is just going to try to survive, it's just going to try to heal off. You use your shockwave grenade, you break their campfires, you interrupt the users on the medkits, and you just have control of the entire situation. So the shockwaves are also going to be even more important than in the regular playlists in the arenas that we have.
Yeah. And with the shockwave grenades, you can as well just take over the high ground. You can knock somebody out from the high ground, and you can just replace them there, take over. If, for example, the campfire somehow survives, you can just take over them, and then you can be in the safe spot.
Yeah, so we were talking about what Mozart has in his equipment. He doesn't have any shockwaves actually, but he does have some solid healing, and that's very important. They have 6 shockwaves anyway. They're going to use one now, as we saw just a second ago. They were setting it up, so they're going to fly a little bit further into the zone. 52 people still left alive, actually. Before the tournament started, like, we could have guessed. We know that there are some solid players out here, but we only could have guessed what the level of the game is going to be. And the level of a lobby we usually decide by the amount of people that are left in the last zones.
Yeah, and
so for now, 50 is looking pretty solid.
Yeah, it was what, 72 players, so
74.
basically 20. Yeah, so 24 players get only eliminated. That's a fair amount of people. Like 50 people in the zone. It's harsh. Like, it's gonna be tough to survive in the later zones.
Yeah, and we saw the Slapgent guys fighting like 3 duos, so
yeah.
you can say that we saw a fair percentage of what was actually going on in the map list for, which for Fortnite tournaments is not always a thing.
Yeah, I mean, especially the beginning of the games, it's usually when you farm the maps, it's not very most spectacular thing you will ever see. But those guys just provided, like, they were just like, yeah, whatever, it's early game, we should just make a early aggression, get the easy eliminations, and we're just gonna be set, because that's already 6 points for them. So it's basically equivalent of being top 15. So that's a good spot. And now, right now, they're under pressure from, that's what we said, third party, from every single angle. What they can think of, they just beans.
And they're getting hit for white HP, so most likely nobody's gonna give up, and they're just gonna be shot at until they finally fall. But overall, nothing is looking too good for them. Like, look at Kevin's mats. He's got 100 wood, 200 brick, and 400 metal, which is way not enough. Some people are most likely sitting hidden somewhere with like 3,000 mats right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing, like, they cannot even afford to stay in the zone. Like, they have to now push towards the center of the zone, because the Kevin, one tick from the zone, he's gone for.
One thing that they have to do right now is just time a proper shockwave grenade to get into the zone at the most safe moment when nobody's gonna shoot them, because if anybody shoots them, they're pretty much as good as dead. But yeah, we'll see in a moment. I think that Mozart and Richard are actually looking at their base. That's exactly where Kevin and Mumindu were just a moment ago.
Yeah. We could see Dagaspen trying to, I think, just move to the zone at the edge of it, so just to make sure that he's safe from the circle. And well, I think right now it's gonna be like just out of shooting and out of third partying. Like, if somebody's like, if for example somebody shot at them, then 3 other teams will start shooting at them as well. So it's like right now peeking through the windows is a high risk and high reward thing. If you will open up, eliminate somebody, that's great, but you as well are opening yourself for potential being third party or just being shot at from every angle.
Yeah, and we're looking at a couple of different duos right here, and nobody has a lot of mats. Dagaspan wasn't very low. He had like 400 right here. Kevin and Mumindu, they also have a 500 each. Richard and Mozart also had like 500 each. Nobody's really stacking these up. Maybe they're like thinking, if we eliminate someone and we grab their mats later on, we're gonna be fine. Well, Mozart on nothing right now.
Exactly,
He's just pulsing around.
Oh my god, he's serious? Oh.
He's
and
gonna land next to Richard, so he's gonna be a little bit safer, but he's down to 17 HP. Any single hit would just bring him down, but they go on the offensive right now, and that's exactly what they need if they want to find some mats to refill on Motash.
Yeah, I think the both of them run out of the mats right now, because I've seen the Richard in the back, just trying to move down some stairs to make some aggression towards those guys, but I think they just give up. They're just like, okay, let's go, the zone is moving, we should just try to survive someone.
And it's nowhere near over. They're already out of mats, and it's just the beginning, pretty much, of the late game right here. Mumindu and Kevin once again knocked out, but they will once again pick themselves back up. But they are also dangerously low on mats, dangerously low on health. They had no HP refills. If I remember correctly, Kevin was on 4 HP, so just a single stink grenade did most likely eliminate him back there. But they picked themselves back up, but now 50 HP gone from his teammate. So it's not getting any better. And somehow, Motas just managed to scrape up 10 mats to hide himself under a cone and just heals up a little bit.
And Kevin
once again knocked out, once again down, but this time he's not going to get picked up for sure. He's way too far from Mumindu, and it's just way not worth it.
Yes, and now we see again Mosash just trying to survive somewhere, just like a little rat, just going around the angles, trying to find a safe spot for himself.
This cone though is not even in the zone, so he'll have to move at least a little bit, but then he won't be able to hide in his own builds. So what is he gonna do? Yeah,
it's very interesting. Like, that's the thing I was hoping for. Like, the end of the game is gonna be very interesting because I think the people don't have enough time to gather the materials, and one fight can really destroy all the plan for the game if you start fighting early, because the material is just going like that. Like, it's just one fight and you're out of high-pressure materials.
Daraspen now going into the zone to try and get mats, but did he get knocked out?
Yeah,
yes,
he did. He did get knocked out by the storm.
Oh, the risk for sure did not pay off right here. His teammate down to 90 mats, no shockwave grenades left. He just takes over the walls. He makes sure that nobody's gonna open an edit on him and kill him. He's now trying to get.
We still have Mumindu. Mumindu still surviving.
I think that Motas was right next to Mumindu actually just a second ago, but well, they did not decide to fight each other.
And we still have 20 people. What? Is Kevin alive?
He did go down to pick him up right there. I have no idea how that happened.
Oh my god.
It's amazing for these two guys. They're in for a lot of points in this game, I can tell you that for sure.
To be honest, if I were Kevin, I would just buy orange just for Mumindu, to just sacrificing himself to trying to pick him up, and it paid off for them. I'm surprised. Wow. I'm really surprised.
And more limbs, and that's mats. That's mats most importantly for them.
Oh my god,
shockwave grenades. Oh, they're so set. And once again, Kevin is down. This guy has been knocked out like 3 or 4 times in this game already, but they're still going.
And we can say that they are going for the wins. They're going for the wins. They're going for the money. I can tell by the performance on the first game that they just gonna probably just be aggressive every single game, and we will see performing them on the high level.
And if they get a free landing on Happy Hamlet every single time, oh, we will see them in the top 10 for sure.
And Mumindu again on fighting.
Oh, the edits are for the enemy, but he just runs in and tries to finish his teammate. This time, he won't be able to save Kevin at all, but he will get the elimination.
But he's in top 2-8. Will he survive? Oh, no but way. Bezniko's Polish player as well.
Jacob and Bezniko's.
Yeah, exactly.
Jacob was on the World Cup. He was not playing in the actual tournament.
He was playing on the Pro AM.
He was playing on the Pro Am, and he got 4th place right there. And right here with his teammates, they get the first win of the day. Congratulations. Though, it is a little bit disappointing to see Mumindu go down like that. Like, he had a chance to win right there. Like, he's held on to his life for so long.
I'm trying not to root for anybody, but performance from Mumindu, wow, that was really, really hard. Like, the amount of action he was going through and picking up the Kevin 3-4 times in the game, going up, and just this unlucky ending, being knocked out by the storm. But overall, he deserved the win. I mean, I'm not saying the Beznikos didn't. I'm not saying that.
But we did not see Beznikos at all. Like, he was not on our spectators, so we did not see his journey throughout this game. We don't know what he's gone through, but what the Slavgen guys have been through this entire game was extremely emotional and also very exciting. Overall, like, they were fighting. They were going for the aggression. Back and forth action all the time. Like, there was non-stop action with these guys. There was not a moment to breathe. So for sure, like, the amount of stuff that they've done probably outweighs a lot of other duos.
Yeah, and the one thing I would love to hear is their team comms. I would love to hear what they were saying to each other, because it was so chaotic there, and the key point for me was how did they manage to pick themselves up when Kevin just dropped down like 5 or 6 floors down under the hill?
That was insane.
And I think we're gonna have those. There's gonna be the unlucky trap from Kevin.
Definitely got hit by that right
Yeah.
here, and then Kevin thought he destroyed it, but he didn't. I
And
have
walked in as
no
well.
idea what happened right there.
And we've got all the actions. Like I think all the clips gonna be from them. Like they just played so well.
Oh, the first time it was Mumindo actually knocked, but then later on it was
yeah,
only
yeah.
Kevin. It was all Kevin all the
Yeah.
time. But yeah,
We give it back to Kevin. Like okay, you are not the only one who's not getting knocked.
yeah.
Oh, that was
very unlucky from Seven. We did get to see him a little bit here and there earlier, but
And then answer your question, there is still a Storm Surge in this game.
yeah, it is. I was wondering, like, I knew that there are no moving zones, but I was wondering if Storm Surge mechanic is actually working right here. It is. I was expecting that, and it actually indeed is. But not sure if it is going to be a huge problem. Probably only a couple players will be affected by it, but I remember in Katowice actually the Storm Surge was a huge thing. Like there was 10 or 15 or 20 people even sometimes over the Storm Surge.
Beautiful, yeah, beautiful Besnikos.
The winner of the first game, yeah. And I think that maybe it is a little bit unexpected. Like Besnikos and Jacob got invited as
influencers?
Yes, as content creators actually right here.
Yeah.
So you would not expect these guys to actually dominate compared to some other pro players that we have here with some worldwide achievements even.
I mean, I've seen them playing together in World Cup qualifications for duos, and they were performing really well. I think, like, overall, they're playing very well, but they are not on, like, super high tier players. Like, you will put, let's say, comparing Moses and Richard towards them, you would think that Moses and Richard would be the better players.
In a regular 2v2 fight, Moses and Richard would probably win 10 out of 10. But it's not about that. It's also about like how you think everything out, how you plan it, how you move in the zones, if you can avoid unnecessary fights. And thus, like we saw Mozart and Richard just dying most likely because they ran out of mats.
And that's going to be future after. Do you think...